slides in all. Yeah, that's everything that I have. And so I'm going to just be talking more. I'll be talking to the slides so that we can get more insights. Okay. Oh, okay. Hi, Chioma. I'm actually in my room.
This meeting is being recorded.
I'm in my room and the fan is on. Maybe that's what you're hiding at, the crackling sound. If I turn it off now, you can probably hear me more, but heat will kill me. So let me try.
Okay, Mambola will be with us shortly. Oh,
Okay,
it
so
was
is
very
it
okay. Yes, it is. It is
fantastic. Okay, so like I said, I have about 19 slides in all. Very short. So I'm going to be talking. I'm going to be talking to the slides, and so that we can get more insights, and we don't lose sight of what we're trying to discuss. So job readiness. So it's an interesting topic because what it says is that it puts HR and recruiters get a lot of bad rep for being the ones to that don't call you back, don't give you the job, make you uncomfortable during the interview, and so there's a lot of backstory that many talents or candidates don't really know about, or how they are don't probably putting obstacles for themselves or sabotaging themselves, all of that. So I'll just be I'll share I'll be sharing my screen now so that we can okay, so coming on. Okay. Okay, so again, I must apologize. I'm not the best, I'm not the most fantastic designer of slides. I just want to talk about what I'm passionate about. And that is, so I just put information there. So if you are trying to judge me by my slides, you are on your own. Okay, so I'm just going to share my slides now. Can we see my slide? Can we see my screen?
yes, I can see your screen. Please let's confirm we can see Mobola's screen.
Yes, can.
All right,
Okay,
thank you, Abimbola.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Bimbola. Every other person is quiet. Don't worry, when we get to questions, we'll all be. So yes, like I said, one of the core values that we have as a company is that we are very, very bullish. Let me use the trending word in tech space now. We're very bullish on letting the world know that African talent is they're world class. So whether they are in tech or code or non-code, African talents are world class. So and that's why for us at partnering with Treford was just like it was like a hand in the glove for us. We have two companies that are passionate about getting the world to know that, to look at African talent and see that they are at par in terms of knowledge, in terms of skill, in terms of capacity to deliver at the highest level. So I'm going to just go straight into it so that we don't waste any more time and we can have more time for questions. So my slides, you see here, five key points here. So one, we have what we call the post-lockdown resume. We have resume analysis. We have portfolio resume. We have matching career stage with format and insight and tips. So I'll just go straight into it. So one, the post-lockdown resume. So yeah, someone asked, so what is the post-lockdown resume? Now, up until the lockdown, when people say, I want to send my CV, I'm ready to take on a job. They just take the CV, they put it together, and they send it. So in a sea of, and then many times they apply the law of the tenth. Law of the tenth says that for every 10 that you do or that you put, one will probably respond. So then they say, meanwhile, you could be having, if the law of the seventh or the eighth or even the 10th, 10 of the 10, why not? But again, like every other industry that the lockdown affected, the HR industry was faced with something that has not been paying enough attention to, which is bias. So many times, the bulk of an interview is usually or the strength of a hiring many times before the lockdown was based on when the talent or when the candidate showed up at the company and they had to look you up and match what you have on your CV with what they're looking at. And that is bias. So right now in the global scene, companies, especially in HR, they are working constantly to do what they call chipping at the bias and removing so that the playing field is level, with each layer of it. It is that whoever you are, male or female, whatever level you are, if you are qualified for a job, if you have the skills for the job, if you present what you have properly, you should have you should be able to have access to be shortlisted and get a chance to be heard and interviewed. So I don't know how many of us saw the LinkedIn post that was trending on LinkedIn about some guy that said he applied for this one of the FANG companies, and it's supposed to be a non-code role, and he applied and he did everything right, and they just instantly, those kind of you know those one knows that they just reply you like he was automated. They just reply you immediately like no, no. That was what he got. Sent it to his resume and he just replied in that instantly no. And guess what he did? He said the same CV, same skills, same everything. All he just changed was British white male from black Nigerian. And the same way the computer was prompted instantly, he just got a congratulations and moving to the next stage. So those kind of biases are more overt. They are more, people can say it's racism, it's prejudice, there was the glitch in the computer. In the end, there was some bias against this person. So HR companies are trying to remove, they're trying to know how do we balance the humanness of being human to see the person and removing the human nature of bias so that as much as possible, everybody gets a chance to be able to be interviewed, everybody gets a chance to be able to be seen and heard and given a chance to prove that they are the best person for the job. It's especially more interesting because in the non-code tech space now, the power of those who see what they call qualitatively is becoming more strengthened. We're the ones that see the big picture. We're the ones that see the people and not the numbers. The when the tech guy is saying drop-offs, it's just a word. To you, it's a human being. It's somebody who is having an issue, who is complaining in customer support, or who is not seeing your ad in the right format. You are the ones who are seeing the story behind the numbers. And so more and more people the industry is seeing the importance of those who are in non-code tech roles who contribute towards getting the end picture, there. So for those kind of people, it's important that there's no bias. For example, there's less bias when it comes to tech guys. And they say, who I want to hire you instantly without even saying a word. He just sends you his GitHub link or sends you his some design portfolio link, and everything that needs to be said, that needs to be decided, can be done without that person being there. the bias is almost not there. But it's not the same for non-code tech roles because there's a lot of in betweens, there's a lot of gray areas, and reducing that bias is what HR companies or HR professionals are working very hard to do now. So the evolution of resume. So I'm not sure if we all know what is called the ATS. Now, before the lockdown, companies had what we call the ATS. ATS is a software called applicant tracking system. So before now, we used to tell talent when you're applying for a job, make sure that you ATS can be sort of like algorithm or like a bot. So if it's in its HR system, they say Diola applies for the role of customer support, and then even though she has done the role, she has 4 year experience, she just puts there, helps people get their issues resolved. ATS would disqualify her because it was programmed to see keywords, customer, success, uh, uh, um, queries, tickets, keywords. The program algorithm was programmed to see keywords, and that's what it is used to shortlist people or candidates for a particular job. So people work very hard on what they call peppering your CV. You pepper the CV very well with the right keyword, with the right buzzwords. I strategize and I overhaul and I blah blah blah. So that you just bamboozle the ATS into seeing you and shortlisting you for the job. So it was typical. That was most of what was, because again, many people when they put out a CV or an opening, I mean, I'm sure you know that lots and lots of people would apply. So it's the HR department many times are short staffed. It's just one person. It's just one person who has the time, who is looking through either looking through every CV or has to shortlist and sort. So it was just what do you call it, a no-brainer to allocate the sorting to the algorithm called ATS to just, just get me the best 50. I don't care. From the 50, I can decide how I can run with them. That was pre-lockdown. And when the lockdown came, now it exposed to professionals in HR that there's still bias. And bias meaning that some people, for example, the dealer who said she had experience being customer success and she helped people to resolve their issues. Dealer could very well be a celebrated person who does get results, but because she didn't uh, use the right keywords in her CV and the ATS had shortlisted her, you know, now that she's at home and she has worked with other companies, and it seems like on social media, Jola is the person, she's the person that is buzzing because her reels videos are showing up on Instagram, that she's helping people to showing her colleagues in the industry how to resolve their issues. She's showing people what's the difference between how to use Jira, how to use Zendex, all those kind of things. So it opened HR to that there are things beyond the algorithm that are also causing bias, or there are in the physical space. If I'm not seeing the person, I can't decide. If our CEO doesn't see the person, they can't decide. All those kind of biases could not happen anymore with the lockdown, such that people's humanness began to come out, and then it had to be that can we start to see beyond what is typical or what is face value? How can we move past that? So post the lockdown, the beauty of what happens is that, like I said, during the lockdown, people began to show up, and then the power of people's skills over their communicating of their CVs became very apparent, such that the market are now shifted from the employers to the employees. So right now it's the employee market. Can we all still hear me? Mic still clear? I hope we are following me. I've not lost you guys. Hi,
Yes, yes.
we're
I
here.
can hear you, Mubala.
Okay. Can
Yes.
anybody else hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Yes, I
you.
can hear you.
Can hear you.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you very
Okay.
much. Okay. So right now the market has shifted to the employee, and it is the power in their hands is heady. It's making them, is shacking them like alcohol. The employee, the power is in the hand of the employee to decide, because now value is apparent, that wherever you are, you can give value, you can change the world, you can do more. It became, you cannot box me to do what you demand. I don't have to show up at your interviews. There are other people who are saying, I'm at home and they can take what I have to offer. And I don't have to be, I don't have to take whatever you're offering anymore. So it became a performance specific industry, such that those who were doing the work, those who were acquiring skills and showing up, were becoming more and more seen. So now, when they put up their CVs together and they say, I'm able to create content that can what's the word?
At the end of the day, want to be alone.
Hello, did I lose somebody? Hi.
Apologies for that. I think
Okay.
somebody unmuted.
Okay. So right now, what is happening in the market now is that employers, recruiters are realizing that there is the employee now knows that the power is in their hands. So even though in the past, the power that was in the hand of the employee didn't realize. That was what the problem was. It wasn't like they didn't have power, but they did not realize that they had power in their hands. So now that they do, it's not the game has shifted. So now it's a thing of, I don't want. You don't have to employ me. I can walk away. You get. But on the other hand, recruiters and employers now began to see that, you know what, if you are so, and then what that did was, employees began to demand what they believed was the value of the work that they were doing. So I don't have to take 50K for being the social media manager, for being the content creator, for being the designer using Canva, for being the ads manager. I don't have to do that anymore. So when recruiters realize that employees now know that, so it became a case of, all right, if you're gonna come before me and demand that I pay you 400,000 to be a social media manager, you better come to me with performance, clear performance resumes, or success or delivery. So if you're coming to me, so employers are saying, I have no problem with you demanding for what you believe that you have value to offer, but you need to come to me with proof that you can deliver on what you're promising. So next, so what is an anatomy of a non-code tech resume? So before now, people just send their CV. In the industry where I work, I'm more in the marketing, growth and marketing side, and many times I would have to come and tweet that, why are talents sabotaging themselves? Sometimes it feels like someone comes for Trefford training, they finish the class, and then they go, how can I sabotage all that I have done? Number one, they don't even update the CV. Number two, when they update it, they just write, just put it there, and send it. Then some, okay, don't worry, we'll go on in the next. I'll show you the mistake that we're making. So yes, so what is the anatomy of a non-code tech resume? Now you need to understand that, because you are still a tech bro, you are still a tech person, it is about clear, undisputable results. If you were, if it was because right now, even marketing roles are they're becoming more performance results driven. So you can't even say you can wing your way, or you can talk your way into saying I did these things. Performance is key now. So what was the CV of a person that you are not there? At the last part, I was telling that if you look at your CV is the only voice you have. When Christians pray and they say that, no, if I'm not in the room, they want to speak for me. Sometimes it is just you are the one speaking for yourself through your CV. And many times, many people, their voices are speaking against them because the resume, where nobody else can decide for them, the resume is saying this person cannot do what they say they can do. So very simple. Like I said, we're moving on from that to what should like. Right now, the resume, the profile, first thing, the story of you. So that thing that people write when they say profile, when they say summary, it is supposed to be the summary of you as a person, your career journey trajectory, or the as in what the career is making you to become. It is still a story of you. It is not to help a company to be a star in the money. No, it is your story. So you're writing a profile or a summary at that beginning. It should be what is everything that is in this CV. What is it saying? That's what it should be. What is everything in this CV saying about this person? So that summary is a 2-3 lines saying everything in this CV is saying this is who I am, this is what I'm passionate about, and this is what I'm becoming. 2, skills. Like I said, because once again, many people, especially in non-code tech, you are singing that Britney Spears song, I was born to make you happy. The HR was not created for your pleasure. No, contrary to what you believe, they were not born to make you happy. They were not created for you. So a lot of people are on that place. So you have to do what they call you have to borrow the idea of what they call in the music industry. They say that in the music industry, if you walk into a music producer's office, that in the first 7 seconds, the producer can know if this song will blow or not. Imagine that. All it takes them to for Sony for what's what convict music or whoever it is to take you up is 7 seconds. The first 7 seconds, if it doesn't bang, that's it. Skills. Many people, many people, they're writing their skills like tasks. I post on social media. That is not a skill. It is not a skill. I um I resolve customer complaints. It's not a skill. And right now, the one of the I'm sure you have seen that sounding weird to you. One of the most uh top three, I've said some of the top three skills right now is one is critical thinking, two is emotional intelligence, three is listening. You'll be sure you wonder how are those skills? How do you state that those are skills? How do you show it in your CV that you have analytic skills or that you have critical thinking skills? How do you show that in your CV? I would explain now. So at the last class that we had with Trefford, I was trying to explain to someone that she had a CV and it was written that she was a content person. Meanwhile, on the job, she was doing growth. Clear. It was clear from how she was talking. She knew exactly what she was talking about, and she was a growth marketer. But her CV said content and content producer, such that when she did apply for a growth role, that she knew what to do, she knew how to get results, she will be disqualified because the CV reads like this is a comms person, not a non-code tech comms person. So the previous experience said comms manager, another one says communications intern, last one says content. Meanwhile, the latest one she had was core growth technical, agile, marketing, product marketing. She had all the skills. She even came for Trefford. Trefford did not show up on her CV. Do you get? So how are you able to communicate your skills? For example, I tell a talent, stop communicating what you do. Stop working like you are performing tasks. You may be given tasks, but stop performing your work like they are tasks. Such that when you're reporting them, you're not reporting tasks, you are reporting that you are solving a problem. So, for example, let me give an example. We're hiring last week for a product marketer, and the role said, this person had to be able to combine. It was something about having format marketing skills at the same tandem of com skills. That's what we're asking for. The client was asking for, and the CV that we had shortlisting in front of us, the person, just like the previous person, didn't know how to express what they were doing until we spoke with the person. So when we spoke to the person, it was clear. This person knew this stuff. They knew what they were saying. They had experience. They knew the workings of it. They were analytical, but they did not express that in the CV. So how do you express that? Take for example, let's use customer, or give me any role. Someone can give me any role that we can use. Give me a role, non-code tech.
Product market.
Business
Sorry?
analyst. Business
Fantastic.
analyst.
Fantastic. Business analyst. Now, for business analyst, it is important that this person is able to communicate, whether using the word business analyst or not. You need to communicate in how you are in company. Let's say CUDA, for example, hypothetical business analyst working in CUDA. Now, what is the role of a business analyst? You need to ask yourself. So, what did you do? For example, it could very well be that perhaps today what the person did was research. Many times, what people do is that they write, I do research for CUDA. So, you having research skills, they leave it hanging. So instead of saying that using research skills, we're able to determine the how CUDA is faring in juxtaposing with the two other performing brands. A complete sort of showing what the problem is and what the result is. That's how to report your skills. So using research skills, you're able to determine that CUDA was number 3 on the top 5. You get, and then the person seems to say, "Oh, interesting. How did you do that? How did you do that?" And then you cannot put the link. You can put a link to the actual. What did you do? Did you write a report? Did you do a poll? Did you go out to an actual sample site? Did you write a white paper? Then you can put a link in it. Everything you've written could be 3 lines, but you have done a power-packed reporting that you have genuine research skills. So instead of just saying, see portfolio, click portfolio link that most people write in their resume, that somebody who has 200 resumes might not even see, because like I tell people that many times, even though recruiters are trying to do better, many times an HR person or corporate person, they are skimming and scanning. To skim and scan, you're reading very fast, looking for what jumps out at you to make you stop and go back and read. That's what skim and scanning is. So if you what you wrote is, if you wrote I researched for CUDA and and did the work, and you left it there, and then you put on the left bar, click portfolio link here. That's sabotaging yourself. There and then complete the story. Your CV is the story you are telling. So write down the skills. What were you able to do? What was the result? What was the achievement? Skills that you had. Using your research skills, you found A, B, C, D that shows that 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you get? Then you can add a portfolio link. Experience. Now again, this is the next flow from the previous point. How do you report your experience? Now, example that I keep telling people in roles that tend towards marketing is that you need to understand that you need to adopt what graphic people do, which is that your resume cannot tell the full story anymore. So your experience, your what you know, how you know what to do, how you did what you did, because unlike graphic designers or tech people who they can see exactly the result of what they did, yours has to be explained. So you cannot leave it to English. You cannot say, what's experience? I have 3 years experience as a business analyst. Doing what? Researching, working with the CEO to show English, not result. So how do you say your company achieved 20%? Then some people write, I helped the company to achieve 20% ROI in 3 months. Fantastic. How? And then they leave it at that. How? There's no how. And the how is most times what the recruiter is looking for, especially in non-code tech. The how, because people can talk is cheap. How? So that's why many times I encourage people to use the number 2 way. You're reporting your experience just like your skills. We're able to help CUDA to achieve number 1 in the market in 10 months using the campaign You Can Get Rich. Yes, using the 3 months campaign with the hashtag You Can Get Rich, with CUDA to achieve 10 million in deposits in 6 months. Do you get? That is a complete thought. Oh wow, this person actually, so that when they are talking to you about the interview, they want to hear more of your how you did it. What did you do? You get? So many that type, at this point, that is when you can either the what would you fractionalize your portfolio and then put the links of the actual campaign, what you did and how you did it, put the link beside that particular achievement, that particular experience that you did. Next one is being human. Post lockdown, during lockdown exposed to us how the office is taking away people's humanity. People leave in their office, they take up being overworked as a trophy or as a badge of honor. Who they are. People became either ashamed or afraid to say that they were more than their job. So in your resume right now, especially if you want to be a global non-code tech talent, right now the global world is saying you must rest. I think there's an office in Korea where they send emails saying if you open this email, it means that you're not sleeping. They put 2 p.m. time. Everybody go and sleep. If you open this email, it means you're not sleeping and you get a query. I want to have that kind of, I want to work in that kind of country. They will close the office on by 5 p.m. when I'm still sleeping. You get? So they are beginning to deliberately put say be human, you are a person. Let us see who you are outside of your life. And one of the most important ways, one of the hacks, if you don't want to put that, I like sleeping, I like jumping, I like, is to show how you give yourself or your time. And that is volunteering. It's a big, I'm telling you, it's one of the biggest hacks. Especially if you want to go international. Show how you give your time or your skills in where you will not be paid. It's very, very big hack. Find some place, somewhere where your skills will be appreciated and where you will not they won't have to pay for it. And then you can list in your CV as where you volunteer. Such that if you do want to be able to do those things, they want to be able to take pride in the fact that there are people that are fully human. They are affecting the world, impacting businesses, and they're also living life. They are adding value to the world, healing the world. If you notice, don't lock down. That was one of the things that we said everywhere, that the world needs to heal. The world needs to heal, and healing much more than the climate is healing. People, interpersonal relationships, friendships, bonds, families, kindness, just being human, being whole. So that's the resume, post lockdown resume. So what you're doing wrong? Very simple. This week isn't. I've mentioned them for in previous points. CV link. I always tell God to forgive me anytime I see anybody send me a CV link. I take the fault, but I promise you, I have never considered anybody for a job who sent me that CV link. You're not ready. I don't have that kind of time. I'm very sorry. I'm not that. You put the CV in the link, then you send me the link. You'll be great in life. I don't. I I think it's over assumption that you believe that they will click that link, that you are the only one that has applied for that job. You are so great and talented that they will click the link and open your CV and go through it. If there's anything that you can do to increase your chances of being shortlisted, do it. If they didn't ask you to send a CV in your link, why are you sending your CV in a link? It's giving take it or leave it. If you have if you are selfish about your career journey, if you are some people, making something to you, some people are so selfish about their career journey that they take pay cuts. It's not because they want to sell her short, but for them, the name of that company on their CV is bigger than the pay. And so they are willing to take that route. Some people, it's that whatever it would take, I am going to be great in life. I'm going to be the best business analyst in Africa in the next 5 years. If it happens that I am going to acquire those skills while working in your company, great. That's the perspective to have. So that every company that you work in, that you give your value to, is also contributing to your career journey. If you see it that way, you would tell yourself, you know what, I want to work here. If they haven't asked me to send my CV link, send the CV link. It connotes that you are not exactly committed to your journey to present yourself at the best level. That's what it connotes. Next, big trophy, no proof. Communicating again. I mentioned this before. Communicating your achievements like tasks. You know, there has to be a complete thought of how you do what you do. So if they ask you at an event, hi, hello, laddie, what do you do? If they ask you, what's the first thing? How do you answer that? Do you struggle to say, okay, what do I do? Or do you just flow and just say, I mean, I I do ABC XYZ, or this is who I am. This is how I do what I do. This is what makes me take up my job. Because an understanding of what you do, I always tell I tell people that I work with, follow the job, follow the task. When you have done your task, when you need to be able to report even for yourself. So that when the company is taking the glory, you can take it as well. Someone said, if you were the front desk and the company won company of the year, will you say you did that as well? Please tell me, won't you do it? Are you not working in the company? So what are you doing, and how does what you are doing impact the big picture? So you need to ask. Okay, so this new word that we just shipped, what's the result so far? Is it what's the impact? So that you know how to report what you are reporting in your CV. This is selfish for yourself, for your own growth, for your own trajectory, to show how you are impacting, how where you are working is impacting your career journey, and how what you are doing is impacting that journey. Third, of course, again, I've mentioned this before, not humanizing your professional brand. I tell people that one of the easiest ways to sell if you want if you want to be poachable, if you want to be desirable as a talent, as a professional, one of the easiest ways, when people see that, they assume that it is the company using your platform to sell themselves. So when a company says post about what we're doing, they assume that it's the company trying to use earned media for my platform. Meanwhile, it is the easiest way to showcase yourself. Employee branding. How do you tell the story of what you do, where you do it on your channel? You don't have to say, at my company, we harvest yams. If all you do is to spray maybe what pesticide on the farm, or you know what? Let me even use let me use what's in our own space. If if what you're doing as in non-code tech is UX writing, Now, if you as the technical writer, how do you talk about what you do? You don't have to mention your clients, but how do you talk about the value of what you do, how you do what you do, what you are reading that can help what you're doing? What are the wins that you've gotten while on this job? You know, all those things, they contribute. People are seeing it, and that's what makes you to do two things. One, so that you are by yourself a star talent, and so that this company that this person is working, there are serious people there. People only want to work with those who have proven track record. I have clients who say they come to our company and they give us money, and they say, I need you to go to the top 3 companies in this industry and poach. I don't care how much the person is asking for. I've had that happen like 3 times. They tell you, take a blank check. I need you to go to this company, and go and poach from there, from this department. Whatever amount they are calling, we pay it. If somebody in that company has already been showing themselves, showing up, and showing that they are value adding people, it's easy. I tried to do it one time, and the CEO, one particular one, the CEO caught me. Oh my goodness! I'll tell you, it's a funny story. It's this company. What's the name of this company? Research company. Um, Preston is the CEO of the company. What's the name of the company? Adela, can you help me? What name of this company? Research company. What's their name?
Um,
This research company on Twitter. They have a
on
subscription of
Twitter.
news. So yes, they have this subscribing for news reports. What's the name?
Stairs.
Stairs. Thank
Stairs.
you. Stairs. So someone morning say go to state business and go and thief one of the analyst companies. I went. Sorry. Yes, stairs. Yes, stairs business. So I went. I started toasting the girl, with one of my from timeline. I don't know who saw the tweet. The next thing I knew was Preston himself was in my mentions. And then he was just sending emojis, side eye, this one down. Before I knew it, they reported me in their office, and different people were coming to my timeline. You know how it was so creepy. They weren't abusing me, they were just sending me emojis, sending me gifs, side eyeing me doing or be doing. No, it was so funny. But that's to say that by themselves, they are talking about what they do. I mean, I've tried to times to poach what's her name, this lady Fikayo, but unpoachable. You get these people by themselves. They're showing up, showing how they do what they do, how what they do is important, how it impacts the where they work for, how what they do impacts the business world. That is very, very important. That's how to humanize your personal brand. That's how to make yourself irresistible, desirable, poachable. You get, and that's again how to rub off on your company as a valuable company. Next slide. So one of my favorite topics: portfolio versus resume. One of my favorite topics. So simple, very simple. What's your resume? Resume presents your work history, experience, skill, and qualifications. And a portfolio gives employers a more detailed look at the work you have done. Again, at the point of portfolio and resume, many people, because they're trying to merge both, their resume ends up being very wordy, very too long and tiring for some recruiters to go through. And right now, I don't know if you know it, but it's trendy now that people are saying that if you're able to compress your CV into a one pager, then you are badass. So can you truly compress your CV into a one pager and that it will get you through the door? The easiest to do that is to leave out the story and put it in your portfolio. All the hows, all the where and when, all the intricacies and what you did and when you tweaked it and what you discovered, all of that can happen in your portfolio. And more than ever, it is becoming clear because the industry is becoming a skills dependent industry now for talent to get hired. Your portfolio is becoming more and more important. So simple. I have here OJ. So I just put here these samples of whatever. So now portfolio personal. Now I tell people that what, because it's important for you to be able to show that you really know this stuff. You know what you did and you know how you did it. I mean, if it's not an exam, I didn't copy it. I know exactly what I'm talking about. So if you saw it in my resume that I did 150 million in 6 months, this is how I did it. It's my portfolio. So this is you, looking very handsome. This particular brand or the particular campaign, what was the problem? What was the end goal that the client or your boss said it was going to happen? Sorry, forgive all of this. That was a mistake on my part. What was the end goal? Now, skills. You list skills that are important for this job. For example, because again, I spoke to one of the top people at Top Tile, and they said one of the key things that will get them to their attention in a CV is that when you are able to express that you know the skills required for a job part-time. So, for example, here we say portfolio business analyst wants to get say new business that can generate 10 million for Kuda. Yeah. What are the skills that you think are important for this particular job or task? Critical listening, blah 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 blah. You writing it there, so that you know exactly what it will take. You are personifying that you know exactly what it will take to get results, and you can replicate these results. Doesn't matter what kind of brand it is, you have what it takes to replicate results because you know what it will take. What you did, what did you do in that particular task? What was the result of what you did? I sent 100 emails. So what happened? So when you wrote in your CV that you are skilled in email marketing, and then you wrote here, I sent 100 emails, or I sent 1,000 emails to CEOs. What was the impact of or I used an opening line that cost 70% opening rate in an email in 1 week. That's the result. Do you get? Were there any influences? Did you infer to the fact that was it during Tech Week, African Tech Week, such that any inferences was what cost you get? You want to show that you understood the process that it took to get it done. Also, insights. What did you learn from it? You can put it, whether you can put it, your challenges on doing a particular job. It just, what it does is it helps to see that you are a person who understands the process of doing the particular job. You know what it takes, and you know exactly how the result will look like if you put in all things that you're supposed to put in. I hope you are still following me. I hope we're still good.
Yeah, we're still here.
Fantastic. Okay. So next thing. Now this is very key for people who are especially in non-code tech roles, because you have people who were in marketing who are now moving into product marketing, moving into growth, as someone who is in content. How do you, what kind of CV, how do you put together? What would it look like? There's types that can help you get the best of that. Now, let's go to it. One, the chronological CV. Very, 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 very simple. This, of course, like I said here, is usually about recent work from the latest to the farthest. Latest to the farthest. So it's one that you just put there. So it helps you to show what you've done, how you've grown through the years in the ranks. Many people, because they are worried about how to explain this, you now see business analyst Kuda 2020. Meanwhile, they did it from January 2020 to February 2020. You get. Then they put social media manager, wise 2018. You get, because they're trying to follow that chronological order, but their CV has gaps. It has gaps. So it now becomes a problem for them to use chronological. But chronological is supposed to help to show that you don't have major gaps, to show that you have grown through the ranks and through the years from what used to be to what you are now. What are the pros and the cons? So it hides gap in employment history. Yeah. If you do chronological, what you can say is, now the way people do that, because they may have gaps in some years, then they report only the kind of skills, which is very, very important to do, to report only the kinds of skills that are important for that job. Because I get many times, somebody wants to be a growth marketer. Then they're sending me, and I can only see that you're a content marketer. And I'm asking myself, what do I do with this CV? Do you get? So if using chronological, what it does is that it hides gaps that you have. You're able to shelve out ones that don't correlate within the years or in terms of experience. Then it's great for those who have transferable skills. Now, for me, it was very good to use chronological because I have what they call a patchwork CV. I went from different. I've gone from um, trade marketing, copywriter, PR, digital marketing, strategy. So I've done different, so for me, it was easy for me to be able to use Quagga because it just showed through the years how I've gone through every kind of tandem in the comms industry. So that's what it does. It helps to show how the skill in one place can become useful in another job. Okay, so what it does that, but the problem with that is that you have to come correct if you're using chronological skills. Oh, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Put it together. Sorry. I was wondering why it wasn't looking okay. So I made a mistake. Sorry. So is um this is the one that should be for, sorry. This one that should be for chronological. So what it does is that it shows your trajectory, yeah, emphasizes your experience, yeah, and it's what's, as I was about to say, it's what most hiring people expect. They just want to look at your CV and see what's the latest skill that you have, yeah, and how it's in tandem with what they're looking for. So if your last skill reports that you were a customer support and you want to do product manager, it's if there is no way to report that you've acquired skills for you to qualify for that, you can't do that with the chronological CV. You can't. And then again, most hiring will just see that and say disqualified, and they take you off the stuff. Yeah. So of course, again, with the chronological CV, you can just put how you rose in the ranks through the years for it. Yeah. Just how you rose through the years. So for the functional CV, that's what I was going to say. This is the CV for those who are moving from one role into non-code tech. This is the kind of CV that you want to get, because many of us have not yet acquired the kind of CV that chronological CVs have, which is that you've risen from junior copywriter to senior copywriter to creative director to product to growth marketer to product manager. That sequence that would typically can be seen in a chronological CV. Most people don't have it, and because a lot of roles are just have recently just morphed, so there's not much years for you to say that you have done it for. So that's why the functional CV is very important. Yeah, and it's very relevant for you. So what it does is that it sells you based on your skills. And since we're in a skills industry and in skills time right now, it is fantastic for you. So here it de-emphasizes that you have length of experience, but you're able to tell the story of what the skills you have and how you have used that skill, even if it's in a short period, to achieve results. Yeah. So what that does is that it's here. So it hides like I said, it hides your employment history, it hides the gaps. Yeah. It's great if you are changing from where you are into a tech role. It shows off your skills. So even if you have just had acquired 3 to 6 months, if you're able to attach the what your portfolio, or you're able to tell the story of what you have done with skills, it just sets you apart. So the weakness of that again is that if you're gonna do this, you have to come correct. You have to show in that in whatever time you have used those skills, you have to show the result, the impactful results of what you've done with your skills. Again, because it's not a norm, it's not a typical CV that most people use. Yeah, so most people are just coming to understand the CV, so it will be for them it's a shock. So you have to be able to word it in a way where it captures their attention. Yeah, and again, it requires again impressive skills and experience. So if you don't have long time experience, you need to tell the story of the length of how of the frequency of your experience of the skill use. So now you have to prioritize the frequency of the skill use over the length of work experience. That's what the functional CV does for you. So this we are already almost done. So this one we asked we have ran a short call at higher poster and we asked this question. We asked them if you had to sit on a hiring panel and asked to pick one thing that will catch your attention in the CV for a non-tech role, what would it be? We asked 65 people if you had to pick one thing that caught your attention on the CV, one thing. And it was interesting to see that some people were saying the personal brand story. That is how you were able to how your CV is able to tell a holistic story. That's one. So it's use of skills. Now this was side by side with use of business goals. Business goals conquered. So it was 35. Sorry, it was 85. Wow. Because I'm very sleepy. It was 85. This was the highest. Business goals conquered. And that's why it's very important. Sorry, I made a mistake. This was 85%. Most of them said, I don't care where you have worked. I don't care what the how colorful the job title is. What I want to know is what did you achieve? Did you, in terms of the business goal, how did what you did, how did it impact the achievement of the business goal? The company says you want to go from doing want from doing 1,000 downloads, you want to go to 10,000 downloads. Whatever you did it impact the moving of the needle towards 10,000 downloads? And the how? Yeah, that moves to this and use of skills. Did you achieve business goals? Because again, the thoughts or decision to hire you is a very business one. It was not sentiment, it was not based on anything, it was that this person's CV looks like they can deliver, they will deliver, let's hire them and pay them what they've asked for. So it's to hire you is a decision. Therefore, you need to help them to achieve business goals. So how did you help to achieve business goals? What you're doing? How did you use your skills? You can explain how did you use your skills? Where have you used your skills? Problem solving, listening, emotional intelligence, proactivity, all of those skills. How did you use it? I want you to tell me how you use it. If I never have to interview you, if you never sit in my front before you get to that point, can I say that this person has an understanding of the skills that is needed to get to the next to get us as the company to the next stage? I was telling my one of my colleagues yesterday. We had an interview yesterday, and the interview was terrible. It was terrible. It was so bad that people around me that were hearing the speaker, they were begging me, Obala, end this person's ministry. Just put up the tell the recruiter that you will call the because we're gone to the point where the company that wants to hire was in the interview. And people that were listening in were begging me, end this person's ministry. Just tell the CEO that see, you call them back. Just it was so bad. This person had a fantastic CV, that. Like it was a CV, it was a resume. Just I did this, I did that, I did this, I did. I know it looked good, but again, because there was no way they had said how they used their skills. By the time they were asking them about the kind of skills that was required to do what they said they did in their CV, that's where problem began. So before you get to the point of speaking, sometimes you may never get to the point of speaking to someone. What will get it from the point of when your CV gets to them, to get to that, let them get a chance to speak with you. And the last was aesthetics. So all this, it's nice to put your picture in the CV, to put your smiling picture, and put the font is nice, and the color blue that is there for formal and making receptive and everything like that. Very few of them said that that was a big deal. But again, two key things is that what you know, is it able to help my business take me from point A to B? That's the reason I will hire you. And number two, do you have the skills required to take my company from point A to point B? That's what most recruiters and CEOs were saying when we asked them this question. So I was gonna end this by saying that again, we go back to this point, the resume, yeah, and say, so if we're to tell again at the point of the skills, how do you back with proof? When you set out to do a particular task, you need to understand for yourself what is the implication of what I've been asked to do. You can ask your question, you can ask your superior, ask your line manager, help me understand so that I can do better. What is the impact of my work on what you're doing? When you understand the impact of it, it will be easy for you to start to collaborate with other people. You know, it won't be a thing of uh, product guys are fighting with growth managers and they are wondering, you guys are just making our work complicated and everything. That back and forth will not be there. Because if what we need to do is get to a point, is this point, I would do what I need to do so that it can help you do what you need to do. Do you get? So how do you communicate that in CV? Understand what you're supposed to do. When you know what you're supposed to do, understand the end point of it. So that when you're reporting what you are doing, the reporting is in a full statement. What the problem was, what you did, and what it had helped the company to achieve. And then if you have to get to the portfolio, you can be as dramatic as you can to tell your story. What you did, what was the impact of what you did? How long did it take you to start seeing results? Your portfolio is like being on Facebook. You know, like on Twitter, you only have 140 or 220 characters. But on Facebook, you can express yourself, you can see everything. That's what the portfolio is like. You can say what you did, you can say what were the challenges and how the challenges help you to see how to do your work better in the future. Do you get? So these few points of mine, ask me questions, please.
Thank you so much, Mbola. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that. So if you have any questions for Mbola, you can raise your hand so that you'll be called upon to ask your question. And you can also use the chat section. You can drop your. So we're looking to get questions. Okay, so we have Ewoma, apologies if I didn't pronounce that well. So after Ewoma, Ezekiel will go next. So I think we can keep getting the hands up. For Ewoma, you can unmute to ask your question.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I want to ask, uh,
Your voice is cracking, so can hear you well. If you don't mind, you can drop the question in the chat section so that we can proceed. Hi, Ezekiel. So we have a question in the chat section already.
Okay.
hello.
Okay.
There's
Can
a
you hear me now?
question. Okay, yes, we can.
Okay, I've taken some courses on digital marketing, social media management, and the rest because I would love to become a social media social media manager for company. So how do how do I add it to my CV? Because the formal way, the only way I know is your personal details, your educational background, and your experience. I know there's a part for volunteering. So at which section will I be able to talk about these skills that I've gotten? How will I insert it? That's my question.
Okay. So if I understand right, what you're saying is that you want to move into digital marketing, right? And so you've acquired some skills, but your current
Yes.
CV is not exactly in digital marketing. Is that what you're saying? Hi.
Okay. Ewoma, can you confirm that is your question?
Yes. Currently, I'm doing my youth service. So I
Okay.
would want, after now, I'd want to venture into it. And I've been able to get some online courses. I've taken some
Okay.
programs. So how will I fill it into my CV? That's all I'm asking.
Okay. So the best way that I would say is that when you start your CV, what you in your is that start when you want to apply for jobs. Apply for jobs in digital marketing. That way, it's easier for you to state that you have skills. If you may not have experience, but you have skills and certifications that can make you to be useful in that particular role. There's no point if you've taken digital marketing, then going to apply for a sales role and then wanting to quote in the sales role for your CV that you do digital marketing. It doesn't help. So wherever you are quoting your skills that you are doing or your achievements, it has to be in tandem. It has to be in tandem with whatever it is that you are applying for. So it's easier. So if you apply for a social media role, digital marketing role, it's fantastic as long as whatever you're applying for, it will make sense for you to outline that you are certified in that particular uh, role, even if you may not have experience.
Thank you. I still have another question.
Okay, go on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, what I'm asking to know, the second part is how will I structure it? Like the structure of my CV. At which part? Is it under educational background? Will I be able to talk about the certifications that I've gotten from all these
Under
online
under division you can put it. Yes, under division you can put there the certifications,
under
and then you
education?
can put, yeah, you can put it on education. Yes,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, we have questions in the chat section. So I would like Ezekiel to ask his questions before we start to read the ones in the chat section.
All right, thank you very much. Hello, Mother, good afternoon. Thank you for the wonderful session. So I have 1.5 questions. So my first question is, okay, I'm a digital marketer. I'm currently transitioning to product marketing. So my first question is, as a marketer, most of what I did as a digital marketer, I could not exactly disclose some of the results because of confidentiality. But then building a portfolio as a marketer, what exactly am I expected to put in my portfolio? Because I can't be putting result of ad run of the ads we did. Those are somewhat confidential. So that's the first question. What's expected to be in the portfolio? Then the next one is related to what a woman asked. I do digital marketing. I don't want to do social media management. They are supposedly two different things. Then what am I supposed to tell an employer who expects that from me with the pay of someone who is only doing digital marketing?
So let me guess right. Your first question, you said that you can't you don't know how to explain your results. Can you ask that first question again?
You know, it's just that what am I expected to put in my portfolio? Some of the campaigns we did, the company deemed the results as confidential.
Of course, definitely. So you don't have to put in your portfolio. So I tell people, so you know what, on the Hire Foster website, we have a free template there where you can download. Just go to hirefoster.com and download the free template. So you see that written there in the template. You don't have to write the name of the company. You can just write what's the word? Just say for example, let's say Adiola Tech. Adiola Tech. So we did the digital marketing for Adiola Tech, yeah, and we're able to get good results. Adiola Tech is probably, maybe she's in the lifestyle, yeah. Maybe she help women to book hairstyling time easier or faster. Fantastic. So I don't have to mention the name of the company. If I say hairstyling, lifestyle tech brand, and I say exactly what I did, I don't have to mention the company. Lifestyle tech brand, tech brand had the brief was to gain awareness to achieve 1,000 signups. Explained. And how did we do it? We ran ads, we did emails, we GGS. In all of that, I have not mentioned the name of the company, Adeola Tech. But I have said what I did, I have said the industry that they worked in and how we did what we did. So for a second question, of course, I'm happy that you understand that there are two different things. Now, digital marketing is a lot wider, and it's tilting towards performance marketing. It's about tracking exactly, using different kind of tools, automation, and platforms to achieve our results. Whereas social media is about using social media marketing to achieve results. So it's about being social, it's about community, it's about engagement, and which is not as deep as digital marketing. So when you apply for a role and the person wants social media, you need to ask yourself, am I okay with doing only social media? If you're okay with doing social media alone, why not? Fantastic. Just that I don't know many people who did digital marketing that are okay with, because they feel that social media is not deep. It's not as deep as what they want to. There are most people that are attuned to numbers that like digital marketing. People who are more attuned to stories and engagement, they are more attuned to social media management. So you have to decide to yourself, am I okay with taking a social media job if I'm a digital marketer? it's a you question. So if you're a social media manager and they ask you to do digital marketing, you need to explain. Social media does not include, I cannot run your ad. If you leave me to run your ad, the money will finish in one day and you cannot arrest me. Do you get? So if it will be good for you to recommend to the person to engage an ad specialist. And I tell people, and I'll say it here again, the world is right now at your feet at the talent. Don't be afraid to walk away. I know it's tough, but don't be afraid to walk away from a potential problematic career future. And you wake up and your heart will be beating. If you take digital marketing job as a social media manager and you know nothing about ads, about marketing automation, and you cook, God be with you. Because it's a very, very technical job to do. You get? So you either you advise the employer to hire or engage services of an ad specialist, and you can now take on the social media and community management. You need to be able to sell the relevance of community management right now and social media as how it is separate from ads management. It is separate. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Okay, so tools that you can use. Okay, so we have one on I can post one on my platform later, but we have one on hirefaster.com. Have a free template. Just go there and just download the template and you can use it. Um, so so it said another one says how can someone with no work experience apply for jobs? It's very tough. I would advise the person, and that's why volunteering comes. That's why the power of volunteering comes, because what you're able to do volunteer is you're able to show, you're able to be given a chance to show what you can do. Yeah, because it's right now, the market is very skills oriented. There's more emphasis on skills over certification right now. The certification can support, but the skills is very forefront. So if all you have is zero experience and only courses, you need to take what you have learned and find where you can tinker with stuff. You need to find where you can volunteer or intern to learn, where what is driving you is not just a paid internship, but that you get a chance to be able to practice what you have known and be able to try it out. I hope I answered your question. So Asa. So okay, for product, yes, same thing. Product management, yes, it's important. Whether you're product management or product marketing or UI UX writer, what is important is you need to get a place where you can intern, either intern or volunteer to be able to get a chance to use your skills and be able to practice it. So someone says, okay, how do you reflect your training? Of course. So that's a very good question actually. Steven says, how do I update my CV to reflect my product marketing training that I just finished? And I have the digital marketing background. Fantastic. So under your education, the certification now, because Treford already is getting a lot of popularity and are getting a lot of what they call companies are beginning to see them and respect their voice as trainers. So it is good that you list them. What's the word? When you're listing your education, you put your certification there as Treford and what you have gained. You can put it in your education. Yeah. So Sylvia says, wanting to transition from non-tech roles to life experience. Yes, exactly. Please do. It's very, very, that is your lifeline to volunteer, to leverage on volunteer experiences. That's your lifeline because what you are doing is all you need is a chance where you can prove that you know this stuff and you've tried your hands on it. The interview that I told you, they say that went badly. The employer told me that, you know what, for them it's not even about the length of experience, is that this person is able to show that they know this thing and they've tried it out somewhere. So whenever they've tried it out with, they're able to show it and talk about it. Because if you do know, if you're trained at something and you know book knowledge and you're able to express it, when you are faced with a question that demands that you should have experienced the workings of it in real time, you can't explain it. You can only say what is the best case scenario because it's a head knowledge, it's a classroom textbook knowledge. It's not what you've gained. So leveraging volunteer experiences is a lifeline. Trust me, it's a lifeline. People who are happy to take you on to support them, and in turn, you get a chance, a place to show where you can show your skills of what you've learned and use that experience as actual experience and skills that you can put on your CV. Yes. Okay, yes. It's just, yes, that's it. Just hireportal.com resources, and then you have it. You can just download it. Anybody else? Any question? Hi, Sylvia. Do you want to say something? Okay. Hi, Michael. Yeah.
Hi, Michael. You can speak. I think Omosua is trying to talk, but you can hear.
I think hello,
Hi, Michael.
can you hear me?
Yes,
Hi,
yes.
good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon,
Hi,
Michael.
Mabula, can you hear me?
Your voice is breaking, so
Yeah, that's my. I think I'll type my question.
do you mind typing your question? Okay, you can type your question in the chat. Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
I'll type it in the chat box.
Okay, so Michael is going to chat and type his question in the chat box, in chat section. I think we've taken all the questions that we have here. I don't know if any other person has any other questions for Mubala.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of do.
Okay,
Sorry.
hi, Ezekiel.
Yeah, Mugula, please, I didn't catch the second portfolio template you sent. I just downloaded the one for IR Foster now.
Hi, Mubala.
I didn't know I was not on mute. Sorry. Yes, I didn't hear you. You said you didn't catch the second one.
Yeah, you mentioned two templates for the portfolio. I said I just downloaded the one for IR Foster. I didn't catch
No,
the
I said
second
that.
one.
No, I mentioned just one. Higher Foster. That's one I mentioned.
Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you.
So that's one I mentioned. Or if you so it's the same thing that you would see. Yeah, you would see if you download Higher on Higher Foster, but if you wanted to use what's the word? If you wanted to use something like this where it's skill, but this is a little more it's a little more detailed. But the one on Higher Foster is more it's very uh, to the point. So I think that one will be more one will be less stress than this.
Okay, thank you, Mubola. So there's a question from Michael. He's asking, how do I update my CV to reflect the product marketing training I just finished from Trafford? Coming from, I think we're ready to do, okay. I intend to use the case study from Trafford as my portfolio. How can I include it on my CV?
Okay, yes. So the thing about using the case study on your CV is that, did you, when you worked on Trafford, did you actually did you test it out as a demo, a dummy case? Did you actually run a campaign, or did you run what? If you run it, then you can reference it. Yes, like if you run it like a demo campaign, or so that something that ran, like is trackable. That's what I want to see. So like it's not just words. It's that so during the, for example, let me give you an example. When I was at Orange Academy, Orange had this campaign that you run. You have group work. When you have this class work, they would have the actual brand owners. They will come, and then they will listen to us saying how we do this, and then they would give us to say, no, this idea will not fly. Then they'll give us insight based on what is happening to them in real time. This is why this idea can't fly. We're already in this place. People don't drink this kind of thing in this kind of area, then immediately it helps us to quickly, readjust, So if your case study that you ran was an actual campaign that you ran while working, then it's, of course you can reference it. That way there's something that people can go and point to or click on to see your thought process, how it happened, what happened, and all of that. Otherwise, I think you should just get an internship or volunteering. Don't worry, the internship, I'm sure Adiola and Anthony are really on my neck for the. I'm sure that we'll figure something out for Trefford guys soon enough. Any other questions? Okay, how do you reflect your training? Of course. So that's a very good thing actually. Steven says, how do I update my CV to reflect product marketing training that I just finished? And I have the digital marketing background. Fantastic.